India didn't just beat New Zealand in the T20 World Cup final, they rewrote the record books. But just how many records fell in one night? Some of these records may never be broken. It started with India's explosive batting. India demolished multiple power play records with none for 92 after 6 overs, but it didn't look that way from the start. Matt Henry and Glenn Phillips bowled with good line and length as Abhishek and Samson got their eye in. For a moment it really looked like New Zealand were up for a real fight, but the game changed when Duffy was introduced. He tried bowling full, but there was no swing. Abhishek and Samson punished him with a series of classy drives down the ground. 15 runs off the over, but this was only the beginning. In Lockie Ferguson's over, the ball started to fly over the fence. Abhishek launched one over cover for 6, and even the edges were clearing the boundary. 22 off the over, and New Zealand were on the ropes already. Now New Zealand needed their most experienced man, their best bowler of the tournament, to save them. Matt Henry was brought back into the attack, but even he was feeling the pressure. He tried a desperate plan of wide, full, slower balls, but couldn't execute. 21 runs off his over, including 2 sixes. New Zealand were bleeding runs. By the 6th over, it was already a night for the history books. 4 records had fallen, and the innings was only just getting started. With 92 runs on the board, India had the highest power play score of the tournament, and the highest power play score ever in a World Cup final. Then Abhishek Sharma reached his 50 in just 18 balls. The fastest of this entire World Cup, and the fastest ever in a World Cup final. What's even crazier is he broke the record of Heinrich Klaasen in the last T20 World Cup final, whose 22 ball 50 nearly won it for South Africa before India's miracle at the death. We see plenty of fast 50s and explosive power plays in T20 cricket, but it's so rare to see them happen on the biggest stage of all. Speaking of 50s, Sanju Samson soon brought up his own half century, and this was a record in itself. Samson became only the 3rd player to score a 50 in both the semi-final and the final of a T20 World Cup, joining Virat Kohli and Shahid Afridi. Abhishek Sharma was dismissed shortly after reaching his milestone, but the incoming batter Ishan Kishan wasted no time piling on the runs. He found a way to score quickly against the spinners, something the openers hadn't managed earlier. Kishan soon raced to his 50 in just 23 balls, and that milestone created yet another record. It was the first time in T20 World Cup history that the top 3 batters in the innings had all scored 50s. 2 more records fell in the 14th over, and it wasn't even the drinks break yet. India passed their own record for the highest total in a T20 World Cup final, 176, set in the dramatic 2024 final. And Sanju Samson dethroned a record held by New Zealand's greatest ever player. He passed Kane Williamson's 85 from the 2021 final, the highest individual score ever in a T20 World Cup final. Now India had already posted 2 massive totals in this World Cup, 256 against Zimbabwe, their highest T20 score ever, and 253 against England in the semi-final. With 5 overs left, they look set to go even bigger. At 1 for 203, 270 looks like the bare minimum. But then New Zealand launched a mini comeback. 3 wickets fell in a remarkable over from Jimmy Neesham, including the 2 set batsmen. After that over, India lost some momentum. Hardik Pandya in particular struggled, repeatedly losing his shape as he tried to hit the ball too hard. The next 3 overs produced just 27 runs, a disappointing return given the pace India had scored at earlier in the innings. By the start of the final over, they were 231 for 5. It suddenly looks like India might have left the door slightly open for New Zealand. After all, England had reached 274 on a very similar pitch in the semi-final. But Shivam Dube once again proved why he's such a clutch player, smashing 24 runs off the final over. India finished on 255, the highest total ever recorded at Ahmedabad, and beating the previous record for the highest World Cup final score by a staggering 79 runs. And the statistics from the innings were remarkable. In 6 different overs, India scored 20 or more runs. Before the final, New Zealand had only conceded 20 or more runs in 4 different overs during their entire campaign. If New Zealand were to stand any chance in this game, Finn Allen needs to get going. He's capable of the extraordinary, as he's proven by his 33 ball 100 in the semi-final. Early on, Allen skied one. India had a chance to remove him, but Shivam Dube put the catch down. Could India live to regret it? At the other end, Tim Seifert smashed Hardik Pandya for a 21-run over. New Zealand had started nicely, but India's star man in the field during the semi-final, Akshar Patel, produced the key wicket of Finn Allen. Once India had the momentum, they didn't let go, just like a true championship side. Jasprit Bumrah then removed Rachin Ravindra with the first ball of his spell, a beautifully disguised slower ball, reminiscent of the one that he dismissed Harry Brook in the semi-final with. Then Akshar, the impact man, struck again, clean bowling the dangerous Glenn Phillips to claim India's 3rd wicket. At 3 for 64, India could sense a World Cup triumph in front of their home fans, a sea of blue inside the Narendra Modi Stadium. The required rate kept climbing, and with every wicket that fell, the smiles in the Indian camp grew wider. The crowd watched in quiet anticipation as a World Cup triumph drew closer. Jasprit Bumrah and Akshar Patel led the charge with the ball, Akshar finishing with 3 for 27 and Bumrah with a stunning 4 for 15. Bumrah's performance also took him level with Varun Chakravarti as a leading wicket taker of the tournament. But it was Abhishek Sharma's wicket that finally sealed the historic victory. India won the World Cup final by a record margin of 96 runs, a record that may stand for a very long time. The triumph was historic in many ways. India became the first team to win 3 T20 World Cups, the first to win back-to-back titles, and the first to lift the T20 World Cup in front of their home fans. To add another remarkable detail, it was also the first time India beat New Zealand in a T20 World Cup, a huge win against a long-time bogey team. So not only had India won the World Cup, they had entered the history books a remarkable 13 times in a single match. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe for more cricket content. Let me know in the comments where this match ranks amongst the greatest T20 World Cup finals. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.